Hi there and welcome back to Triplicate, and today we are going to move on with our multicoloured mood light we're developing. So we left it, we had the serial control multicoloured LEDs working, producing a moving rainbow effect, and I just put some in here in the globe. So it produced some pretty colours over Christmas. So that's it. So now we want to move on and put these LEDs in how we actually want them, not just stuffed in with a bit of bubble wrap as they are now. So first up, let's take out what we've got. I'm absolutely paranoid about breaking this glass bowl. If we do, that's the end of the project. So here we've got some LEDs with this wire, galvanised wire. So I want to get 20 LEDs in there. Come on. And I was proposing to make little tubes like that out of plastic, and I've got some stiffer plastic, a piece of aluminium foil to form a reflector. So I want to know how big to make these, and I want to fill the glass up, so I need to know how much volume is in here, so I can then work out how big I want to make these, so my 20 of them will fill it up. So let us go downstairs to the kitchen and use just pour water in it till it's full, and that'll tell us how much there is in it, and it'll also allow us to clean it out a bit. So just over 4 litres. Right, and all the silvering's coming off. So I'm now going to give it a bit of a wipe out and a clean, and we're good to go. Okay, so my original plan was to put the LEDs in little clear tubes with a piece of aluminium foil pointing at the LED, so it's reflected, so the light's sort of reflected back rather than these sort of quite bright LEDs shining straight out. And should we see if we can zoom in on that? And are we going to focus? Yeah, so there it is. Okay, so assuming our tubes are packed in like that, so each 2 tubes at right angles to each other, and we're going to assume the volume of that is half each tube length cubed, which is a complete guess, but don't think unreasonable. So that, yeah, that's the volume of 2 tubes. So that volume of 2 tubes, because we want 20 tubes, is a tenth the volume, the total volume, and the total volume we know is 4000 cc's. We've measured it. So that gives the length of 1 tube to be 9.28 centimetres, the best part of 10 centimetres. So if we plonk our ruler down, that would make our tube that length to there, and that width, which is crazy big considering we'll have one little LED lurking in the middle there. So I'm not happy that that is going to work. I'm not even going to try it, I think. I think I am going to come up with something else. Okay, so there's something else I've decided to come up with is all the LEDs are somehow mounted in the middle, and this is the way I sort of cobbled it together for Christmas. Mounted in the middle of the globe, and the globe is round here, and I don't know, there's some kind of diffusing, reflective stuff on the inside of the globe, not sure yet. And if we want 20 LEDs, and it's easier to mount them on a flat surface than a sphere, or well, that's what I've gone for. The shape we would want to mount them on is a dodecahedron, and to test it I made one out of paper, and that mounts off the surface, and if we make this the right size, then the opening at the bottom of the globe would slide over the top of the dodecahedron, so we can develop it without the globe on, and then just when it's all made, we can put the globe on the top. And my paper dodecahedron Mark 1 on the floor, and so here we have dodecahedron Mark 2, which will be mounted on some kind of a pillar, and we'll have 2 LEDs on each, so we've got 12 faces on a dodecahedron, and the bottom one is mounting 11 faces, 2 LEDs each, 22 LEDs, and you never know, we might go for 3 LEDs each. I haven't decided yet. And if I lift this carefully, there we go. Up she comes and off she goes, and that can go away, and we can make this and mount all our LEDs with the globe off. And I have somewhere, yep, here, a piece of, it's called plasticard, which is just thin clear plastic. It's got protective film on it, and it's quite thick, so I am going to make a dodecahedron out of that and somehow glue it together. Okay, so I have 4 lots of 3 pentagons printed out on a sticky label and stuck to the plasticard. So now I am going to cut these out with my trusty scissors and figure out a way of gluing them together. Okay, so here's one of our little corners with 3 pentagon faces, and this stuff is fairly easy to cut with the trusty scissors. Ish. So you can see the plastic card on the underneath and the sticky label, printed sticky label on top, and there we go. So now these lines we need to fold in so this gap closes up, and this is the second one, and the first one is here. So I've done that. I used just heated up an edge, a ruler edge, and folded it over that, and that is good old hot melt glue, which, well, I sort of tacked it in welding parlance with a blob, and then just ran a bead, again welding parlance, along the edge there, and that seems to be strong enough. It doesn't have to be hugely strong, it's just got to support LEDs. So I will do that with this and make the other 2, and then we'll glue them all together. Okay, here we are, cut out and cleaned up. And this is the point I realised trying to film doing something to thin clear plastic is not easy. So I'm going to put that down there. I'm going to try and push that edge together and get the glue gun, and okay, there we go. That's a nice bead of glue along the edge. Okay, we have 4/4 of a dodecahedron. All we've got to do now is fit them together. So I may or may not do this on camera. Shall we see how we go? Yeah. Hold them in place. And at the same time allow you, the viewer, to see what I'm doing. Alright, well, we'll do this one. You can't see anything I'm doing. I can't see what I'm doing. And I've run out of... oh, well, I'm making a mess of this. Ah, well, and here it is. And what a mess. So... I mean, it would work. I mean, it's sturdy enough, but as I say, it's a mess. And oh look, oh, that's a dribble on. There's a dribble there on the inside, which I couldn't even trim off. And I think some of the edges I didn't bend accurately enough, so it didn't fit together brilliantly. And the hot melt glue just goes everywhere. Don't want to use that, and I need to be able to hold it firmly in position while the various bits of glue, see, that one worked alright, but while the various bits of glue set, or use super glue because it's fast. So no, that's a reject. So I could order some more plastic card. Well, I have ordered some more plastic card because that's all I have here. And try and make a Mark II, see if I can make a better job of it. Or I could use a sphere, because these little guys will stick to a sphere, no problem. And I can buy a sphere like this one, straight off eBay, ready to use. So I'm going to go with the sphere first, because it doesn't cost me any effort making anything, and if there's a problem with that, we will try a Mark II one of those, and it'll be instant for you, but it's going to be probably the best part of a week for me while they get round to sending it to me. Okay, it's ended up being a while, and so long that I've actually recorded and published part 4 of this series, while we're still in the middle of part 3. So sorry about any confusion down to that. This was due to my clear plastic spheres. The wonders of eBay didn't arrive by the estimated delivery date. Left it a few days, contacted the vendor saying had they any idea where it was, and they simply refunded my money. And of course the very next day it arrived in the post, after I'd ordered some more, of course. So we are going to have to think of a new project using, I think, 5 of these things. However, it's here. So first up, I need to mount it somehow take this off. Say, I guess about there, I can calculate that. I think I might go for the bit of wood. Anyway, let's see, because that'll be about the height. So I will give that some thought and share my conclusions with you. Okay, so there it is. You can see I've used a bit of wood for a pillar. Going to change that out for a bit of clear tubing, but I don't have any for now, so we can move forwards for now. And yeah, that looks good. So I think we can start putting LEDs around our globe. Okay, so our globe is 8 centimeters diameter. So radius R equals 4 centimeters. So surface area of the globe A equals 4 pi r squared equals the calculator out, complete with the display that's dying. 4 times pi times 4 squared equals 201.06 square centimeters. So we are going to call that approximately 200 centimeters squared. Now if we want to space 20 LEDs around that, each of them should have an area to itself of 200 over 20 equals 10 centimeters squared. So assuming it's in the middle of a square, that square has a side of the square root of 10 equals 3.2 centimeters. It works like this. So we're assuming we're equally spacing them. So that is 3.2, that is 3.2. Here's the LED in the middle. So that's got to be 3.2. So we're trying to get our LEDs 3.2 apart, and we don't want any right at the bottom here because this is where it mounts and they're just pointing down into the base anyway. So okay, a little thinking about it and head scratching, and here's what I've done. I've drawn, so this is down where they should be a hanger up normally, but I'm putting it down at the bottom. So I've drawn a line halfway round and 3/4 of the way round, and the diameter is the circumference, should I say, is 8 diameter times pi, which is about 24 centimeters. So 1/4 of 24 is 6, so that's 2, so they're about 3 centimeters. That's what we want. And so that again is 24 centimeters. So I've marked, you can see, 6 positions around there, and I've just eyeballed these and guessed and drawn these lines by spinning it round with the pen resting against it. Okay, so this is halfway up. So the diameter of this is 1 over the square root of 2 times the diameter of that, which is about 0.7, which gives me about 18 centimeters. So I've put 6 round here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, I've just eyeballed them and guessed them. So there's 8, 6 and 6 is 20, and 1 at the top. 21, which will do. That's about right. So I shall stick some LEDs down where I've drawn these marks. Okay, forgot these guys come with sticky tape on them already, so let's see if they will actually stick to this. Okay. Yes, they do. Excellent. That one at that end, the glues. The tape's come off, I'll have to replace it. I'll stick these ones that still have the backing on. So they've got a little arrow. Which is the direction the data's going, so we will keep all the little arrows pointing in the same direction. Nope. And so on, another whatever 17 times, which I will do off camera I think and show you the finished result. And here she is. They're not entirely even, but I don't think it'll make a difference. So I am now going to get some alcohol and carefully clean off all these lines I've drawn on it. And next, and I didn't need that because they're sticky backed anyway. It's good for sitting it in while I'm working on it. And I am proposing actually to wire them up using single strands of this stuff. And it is 0.4 millimeters diameter, which gives the resistance as about 1/10 of an ohm in a meter, but we're not going to have a meter of it, and it's only half an amp. So, well, anyway, I'm gonna chance it, turn all the LEDs on, and hope that we don't lose too much voltage by the end. And I'm going to wire them across and tape them down with a bit of tape to stop them shorting together. That's going to be the neatest solution for that. Okay, went for this stuff in the end. It's about twice as fat, because I was just a little concerned that this might be a bit too much resistance down the thinner stuff, especially since when you think about it, the current has to go all the way down the chain of LEDs and then through the last one and all the way back again, so it's actually twice as far. So this stuff it is, and it's a bit stiffer, so we should hopefully not have to worry about it shorting together. It should hold into position. So should we do some soldering? And the alcohol seems to have made the plastic a bit cloudy. I think it would just dissolve in ordinary ethanol. So I'll connect the lines on, but back down to the nucleo. They will go on last. So let's just connect one and see what we think. So that's going to be our first one. And we want a piece of wire about that long. Ow! Pair of tweezers. One a little bit shorter. Okay. Singed fingers by the time I get to the end of this. at the end. Times like this. I'm glad I am pretty much ambidextrous. By which I mean I can't write with either hand. Right. No, it's all that looks better. And so on, round and round the middle and then round the top, which will take me some while I guess, so I will bring you back when we're done. Okay, all the way around the bottom row, and I've used insulated wire to get up to the middle row, just because of the increased chance they could touch and short together. So onward and upward with the middle row. Okay, so up onto the middle row, all the way around the middle row, all the way around. So all we're going to do now is round here, round the top row and the very top one, and we're done. So time to do some more soldering. Okay, here it is done, and I had a whoopsie daisy on that one and pulled the pad off. So I've repaired it, and with the benefit of hindsight I might have just changed the LED. No matter, we will see what happens with it. For now we've got the Nucleo connected up, and over here out of shot I have a USB wire which I'm about to plug in to the USB, and let's see what happens. And it is happening. So following back, around the middle and down to the bottom one. So it's working. So shall we assemble it into the globe and see what it looks like? And there she is, held onto this wooden pillar, hot melt glue for now, because changing that out to a clear perspex pillar. So now we can move on with the project. So excuse the fact the camera doesn't seem to want to focus. There it is with the globe on, which will eventually be, I think, probably semi-silvered on the inside, Don't know, that's yet up for grabs, yet to play with, and thinking I might spray the globe all black apart from actually the LEDs. Again, I guess these are finishing touches. So because I had to wait so long for that plastic sphere to arrive, I moved on and did the next video getting the Arduino and to drive the LEDs, which means they're out of order, which could be confusing if you watch them in the numbered order, but there you go, fun of YouTube. So next time we're going to get the pyroelectric sensor, the microphone and the light sensor working, and hopefully start working on what we want it to do. So until then, I think I'll take my leave. So yeah, subscribe, comment if you have something to say, maybe a thumbs up, and for now it's goodbye from Triplicate, home of interesting electronics. Goodbye.